is March and we are up to our third block of our English Garden block a month quilt. Now last month I asked you to put aside this block. Do you remember this quarter square triangle that we used in February's block? So I asked you to hold it aside, and today we're going to get this out and we're going to use it on block number 12. Yeah, we're doing 2 blocks today. So block number 3 is Friendship Star. Block number 12 is Eccentric Star. And I know it's a little out of order, but in the end, we'll have all the blocks made and then we will assemble them in the right order. So it'll all be good. So, but get your quarter square triangle out. Okay. Also, if you're new to our channel, you can get caught up very easily. You can watch our previous videos, or you could go to our website, utterlysimple.com, and hover over the BAM tab at the top of the page, BAM, block a month. And if you hover over that, 2 projects will come up, English Garden and Pennsylvania Patchwork. So English Garden is the one that we're doing right now. All the written instructions will be there for you. If you're feeling especially enthusiastic, you could actually do both quilts at the same time. That would only be 2 blocks a month, except for this month because we're doing 2 for this particular quilt, so that would only be 3 blocks. But that's doable, and that would be kind of neat to have 2 quilt tops done by the end of the year. Okay, so we are going to do block number 3 first, which is Friendship Star. So let's get to it. Okay, I never showed the picture in the beginning of the finished project. So this is English Garden. And this was the block that we made last month, and we made 2 of these because when you make a half square triangle, one makes 2, and then you make a quarter square triangle and that makes 2, and we only used 1. So now we'll be using that in block number, where's 12? Oh, right here. Okay. Okay, and also I'm Jennifer Waldman with Utterly Simple Designs. Okay, now for the, and you know what I didn't mention also? If you go to our website, not only are the written instructions there, but the fabric requirements are there as well. Okay, so for March, block number 3, we are doing the Friendship Star. It is a 9.5 inch unfinished block. Now, from your red fabric, you will cut 2 3 7/8 inch squares. From your blue fabric, you will cut 1 3.5 inch square. From your yellow fabric, you will cut 4 3.5 inch squares. And from your white fabric, you will cut 2 3 7/8 inch squares. Okay, the first thing we're going to do is we're going to use our red and white fabric. We're going to put right sides together, and we are going to make half square triangles. I said to my sister we should have called this quilt the half square triangle quilt because I feel like we do a lot of half square triangles. But in any case, so in order to do that, we are going to put right sides together, draw a line diagonally from corner to corner. That's a little off center. I'll fix that though. And then you will sew on, just get rid of that, on either side of the line, a 1/4 inch. Okay, you'll make a 1/4 inch seam. Still doesn't look good. Okay, you're going to do a 1/4 inch seam on either side of the line, and then you'll cut on the line. So I'm going to go to the machine and do that. Then I'm going to, I'll press them open and I'll cut my dog ears. But you'll see you'll have four half square triangles. So when we come back, we will lay this block out and then sew it all together, and that block will be done. Okay, I'll be right back. Okay, so here are my 4 half square triangles, and I've laid them out in the way that they're supposed to be. And now I'm going to add my other blocks. So I put my blue block in the center, and then I have 4 yellow blocks that go in the corners. And then we will sew each row together, and then we'll sew our rows together. And I have ironed all of my seams to the dark side, to the red side. I don't know if that's going to matter or not when we go to put this together, but I'm just letting you know. Okay, so let me go sew my rows, and then I'll sew the rows together, and we'll come back with the completed block. Okay, so I sewed my 3 rows together, and as always, I should have said this. I was talking about the ironing these seams, but when we have these 3 rows, we want our seams to nest, as always. So you can see how they're ironed in the opposite direction, so they kind of snap together. So what I did was I ironed these 2 rows, the seams out toward the yellow, and then I ironed the center row toward the blue, so that everything is opposite and they will fit together perfectly. And then when we sew, hopefully our corners will be, you know, perfectly in alignment. Okay, I'm gonna go sew my rows together, and I will be right back with a completed block. Okay, here's our completed block, Friendship Star. And now we are going to move on to block number 12. So the cutting instructions for block number 12, Eccentric Star, are: from your blue fabric, you will cut 2 3 7/8 inch squares. From your green fabric, you will cut 2 3 7/8 inch squares. From your white fabric, you will cut 4 3 7/8 inch squares. And then, of course, we are going to use our saved block from block number 2. Okay, so to begin with, guess what? We're going to make half square triangles. So we need 2 blue and white and 2 green and white. So get your greens and your blues and your whites. I think I have too many whites here. Let's see. Okay, we're going to put them together, right sides facing each other. And then we're going to do the same old thing. We're going to draw straight lines, corner to corner diagonally. And then you'll sew on either side of the line with a 1/4 inch seam. We always use 1/4 inch seams unless we say otherwise. Okay, so let me just do one here. So, I have to get a new marking thing, I think. Okay, so you'll do each square like that, corner to corner, so a 1/4 inch on either side, cut down the line. You will have 4 green you'll have 4 half square green triangles and 4 half square blue triangles. And then once you do that, you'll cut them, iron them, cut your dog ears, and then we're going to come back and lay this one out as well. Okay, see you in a few. Here are my half square triangles complete, and I've laid them out in the way the illustration shows to lay them out in our directions. And then we're just going to add our last block that we saved from last month's block. And I do want to point out that these 2 blocks and these 2 blocks, when you go to sew them together, you see these diagonal seams meet up. So this seam needs to be opposite from that seam so that they will nest together nicely when you go to sew. Even though you're not sewing like along that line, you want them to line up. Okay, so what I did was, for these 2 and then these 2, I ironed my green seams to the white side. Okay, All right, now I'm going to sew my rows together, and I'm going to press the center row seams toward the center and my top and bottom row seams toward the outside, so my rows will also be able to nest nicely. Okay, I'm going to go sew my rows and my blocks and get it all complete, and I will see you on the other side. Here's block number 12, eccentric star, complete. So we have 4 blocks under our belt now, January, February, and 2 for this month. Well, I had a good time making this video. I hope you enjoyed it. Please leave any questions or comments below. Please subscribe. If you have any friends that like to quilt, please have them subscribe. If you have friends that live far away, maybe it would be a good way of getting together each month if you both watched the video and then worked on your squares and then communicated through texting. Yeah, oh, I just wanted to show my shirt. Don't drink and quilt. I think I got this one at my Quilt Guild as an auction. It was part of a little gift pack. So, okay, well, enjoy the rest of your month, and I will see you the next time. So long for now, and keep quilting utterly simple.